where we had Michael Jackson with us in 2002. He opened the window, took his newborn baby blanket and held it out of the window.
So if you wake up in the morning, it can be that the clouds really crossing your window and going up to the sky. It's an amazing experience.
This is something new and very unique. A lady at Red has done for your guest something unique or different, and the guest has come with a very positive feedback.
If you walk in a hotel and you find a red dressed lady or a gentleman with a red tie, I'm here, home.
What is your largest suite if a VVIP guest wants to come and stay in your property? What is it going to cost me?
So the baby was born in Munich, in Kempinski, Munich. The hotel is very famous in winter as it's a ski-in, ski-out resort.
Sadly, the property burnt down on the last day of the Second World War, so there's a very rich history there.
Hi, my name is Sudhanshu Jaipuria from Luxury Cloud Podcast, and as promised to you, I love getting hotels out here for you to come and hear the stories from the people at the most amazing properties around the world. And we have two fine people out here in India to talk to us. Mr. Felix, who's representing 3 amazing properties in Europe, and he's the cluster director of sales. And we have Caroline, who's director of sales at the property of Kempinski in Berlin. Thank you so much for coming to India and talking to us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's always great and a great pleasure being here in India, especially in Delhi here in this fantastic property where we have the interview at the moment. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for hosting us. It's a true honor to represent the Hotel Adlon here and to be here in India. It's the first time for me, and as a sales executive, it's a true honor that I'm trusted with this representation. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Felix, why don't you tell us about the 3 properties that you represent? What are the names and where are they located? If you could just tell us about it.
Well, it's a true honor for me working for such an iconic properties. Kempinski Munich, it was originally built in 1858 by King Maximilian II, and he built the hotel as a guest house for his guests coming to Munich, and he wanted to have his hotel on the finest street of the city. And of course, the hotel was built very, very luxurious, and that's why the hotel is the Royal Hotel actually of Munich, and I'm very proud working for this hotel since 13 years now.
Wow.
The hotel is the flagship Kempinski, as this is the only property which belongs 100% to our brand.
Wow.
So we own the building actually. Alongside Kempinski Munich, I'm very proud working since 2015 for the Kempinski Hotel in Berchtesgaden, which is in the very south of Germany. It's actually the last city in Germany before you cross the border to Austria. And it's a standalone hotel on the top of the mountain, 1,000 meters above sea level. So if you wake up in the morning, it can be that the clouds really crossing your window and going up to the sky. It's an amazing experience. And alongside Kempinski Berchtesgaden at Munich, I'm very honored also representing the Kempinski Hotel Das Tirol in the city of Jochberg, which is very close to Kitzbühel. Kitzbühel is a well-known destination in Austria. The hotel is very famous in winter as it's a ski-in, ski-out resort.
Wow, fantastic. And what about you?
I am proud to represent the Hotel Adlon Kempinski right in the heart of Berlin. It is a true institution that has a history that's just as the one of our beautiful property in Munich. The history goes back all the way to when Germany was still an empire, and back then in Berlin there was a very eccentric and innovative restaurateur called Lorenz Adlon, and he had this vision of building the world's most luxurious and outrageously famous hotel. And he had a very famous admirer, the emperor himself, who said, "I like the idea, let's do it." And together, within 2 years, they built the property, and it was opened in 1907 by the emperor himself, and quickly became a true institution of the city, a meeting point for diplomats, VIPs, stars from all over Europe. and then quickly cemented itself as the center of the roaring 20s that have, I mean, they were in Berlin before they were in Paris, so this was really the place to be. And the Adlon became the living room of Berlin and of Europe. Sadly, the property burnt down on the last day of the Second World War, as the legend goes. And then it was rebuilt in the 90s because it was said to be such a landmark of its own and such an important part of Berlin culture and history that nothing else could stand in its place. But it's resurrected Hotel Adlon again. So it was rebuilt and then opened again by the head of state, Roman Herzog at the time, which makes it more iconic in the way that I think no other hotel in the world can say that it's been opened twice by a head of state.
Wow.
So there's a very rich history there.
You know, it's already feeling very royal having, hearing about the two city properties, which the way you're explaining, I'm already in the property. I was walking through the lobby and the luxury one could feel, especially when the brand Kempinski is attached to it. So speaking of the brand, I mean, there are all, many brands in all the cities in the world. What, according to you, makes Kempinski special? Why one should choose Kempinski according to you? What is the one thing you feel really proud of that you do as a brand?
I mean, Kempinski was founded in 1897, which is a long history. And 1897 is actually also which makes us the oldest European luxury hotel brand, which we can be very proud of course. Kempinski is a small but very unique company, meaning we have around 80 hotels all around the world, which makes it very individual. So also from a sales perspective, where we're talking from is that we can easy connect you. If you have a request, for example, in our property in Bali, I can you put in touch with my colleague in Bali very easily, and which makes it very, very special also for clients. From a client's perspective, it's very nice if you don't know anyone in Bali and you reach out to someone you know in Munich or in Berlin, and you have the easy connection, which makes it very unique and very special.
Wow, but Kempinski has over 80 properties and many brands are not able to have all the properties at the same quality check, throughout so many years and decades, I would say. How does it happen? What is the training you guys go through? Tell us about what happens at the background, because we as clients don't understand the kind of work and which is gone to in order to give that service to a guest. So tell us a little bit what's happening at the back end.
I mean, we maintain our standards in each single property. So there are, of course, 5-star luxury standards which we maintain in each property. And of course, there are flagship properties, which is, for example, the Kempinski Munich, Kempinski Adlon in Berlin. Then we have the Shiragan Palace in Istanbul, the capital Kempinski in Singapore. These are the really the iconic properties which I want to highlight, or we can highlight and we can be proud of. But every single property in our portfolio is special, and every single property is unique. So this is also a little bit different to different brands. Each our properties are individual. So we have some touch points in every single hotel, which is, for example, the iconic Lady in Red, where we just celebrated 15 years of Lady in Red. Lady in Red is a very nice.
Tell us more about Lady in Red.
Lady in Red is a very nice institution in every single property. The Lady in Red, or meanwhile also the Gentleman in Red, they represent our guest relations department. So although all the properties are very special and very individually, the Lady in Red you'll find in all Kempinski hotels. So if you walk in a hotel and you find a red dressed lady or a gentleman with a red tie, you know already, okay, I'm here, home at Kempinski.
Wow, this is something new and very unique. Something like hidden yet in front of you.
Absolutely.
What is so special about them? I mean, as a guest, if I was to approach them, they would help. They are beyond concierge desk, is what I'm understanding?
They can be Everywhere in the hotel, so it's not 100% required that they're behind the concierge desk. Of course, some properties have it implemented that they are working behind the concierge desk, but they can be also found in food and beverage outlets. They can be found in the bar. They can be found in restaurants. They can be everywhere, all over the entire hotel.
So the role of the lady in red or gentleman in red is beyond going and giving information or service to the guest beyond the concierge desk, is what I'm wanted to know.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I mean, they are very familiar. These two kind of jobs, meaning the concierge and the lady in red, they're doing very similar things. But in the end of the day, it's the extra mile, which will be done by the lady in red or the gentleman in red. So they do the special magic in the properties, and they make everything happen what is usually not 100% always possible.
Wow. So tell us about something that, you know, a lady in red has done for your guest, something unique or different, and the guest has come with a very positive feedback and he was very happy about it. Is there an incident that you would like to share with us?
We have a wonderful story that I've been told. You know, I've been at the Hotel Adlon a very short period of time, but there's certain legends or, you know, stories that are just told over and over because they truly reflect the soul of our hotel and of the lady and gentleman in red. There was a businessman, I think it was from Tokyo, who visited us for a longer stay. So he was in touch with our ladies and gentlemen in red and also our concierge quite a bit. And at some certain point, he talked about his father, who had apparently visited Berlin and stayed with us decades ago. And he just mentioned that, and we quietly went to work and did some research, went through historical archives, did some phone calls, found a Japanese landmark in Berlin, and by the next morning our guest had a beautifully curated walking map of Berlin that was a little tour through the, you know, tracing the steps of his father. Wow. That he made in Berlin all that time ago. And that is one of the exceptional examples of what our ladies and gentlemen are capable.
Wow. This almost took me to the movie National Treasure, when he's following the footsteps of his ancestors to find the treasure, you know. But this is genuinely, you know, if I was the guest who experienced that, for me it would be a life experience, you know. No hotel's other service in the room or the suite cannot replicate this personalization that one experiences, and I think that's one reason why we constantly get a lot of repeat guests, especially people who want to be the members of Kempinski and go to your property again and again.
Absolutely, we have a lot of regular guests, especially when I'm talking about the Hotel Adlon and the Kempinski Hotel in Munich, but also our properties in the mountains. Yes. For example, the Kempinski Hotel Berchtesgaden or Kempinski Hotel Tirol. We have a lot of regular clients because it's one of our aims to take extra care of repeaters, to take their preferences down and to also maintain their preferences, which we know from previous days. This makes us very special, and this is also a topic because our brand in general is a small luxury hotel brand. So also if we have a guest staying in a different Kempinski hotel, we provide the preferences, and then you arrive, for example, in another Kempinski hotel and you expect you get your preferred wine or your preferred water preferences. Oh, wow. So this makes it special.
Wow, this is unique that if I've stayed and requested for a particular wine, so all the Kempinskis would know about it?
I mean, there is our loyalty program, which is the Global Hotel Alliance, and the program is called Discovery, and there you can add your own preferences, which will reflect then to all the properties you stay.
Wow. So tell us more, you know, what are the other benefits? Many people, because they stay at your property, but sometimes they're just lazy to become a member. So what are the advantages you think a member can get if they were to become your Kempinski members?
The program is very special, as from the very first second you get actually special rates in our properties. So you get member rates, and you have immediately, without staying a single room night, you have immediately a benefit in the property. If it comes to more room nights and you become a regular guest, you're not only deserving your special rate, you're getting, for example, early check-ins, late check-outs, upgrades, up and availability. If you stay more than 30 nights, for example, there's double upgrading possible, if it's available.
Wow, that's fantastic. So how has Indian market changed? You've been with the property for a very long time. And we see a lot of growing market towards skiing. Of course, we know people love going to the cities of Berlin and Munich. We have also done many bookings and sent many guests to all these properties. But skiing is suddenly getting really popular in the last 5 years is what we've seen. Have you seen any change from the Indian market at your property specifically?
Absolutely. We have seen an increase in every single property I'm representing, and which is very great to see that the Indian market is increasing a lot. If it comes to our properties in Berchtesgaden and in Tirol, of course, Tirol is more known for our ski resort because it's a ski in, ski out resort, so you have the direct access to the slopes. So you just take the skis on your shoulder, walking to the slopes and start immediately skiing. Berchtesgaden, there is a small a ski lift next to the hotel, which makes it very special because Indian travelers, they usually start as a beginner, as skier.
So what is the height of the Berchtesgaden?
Berchtesgaden is located at 1,000 meters above sea level. However, the difference is a little bit that Berchtesgaden is located on the top of the mountain. So meaning you have fantastic 360 degrees views.
So is that there is a town around the property as well where people want to go out for restaurants or something?
Yes, there is. The Kempinski Hotel Berchtesgaden, for example, we have the city of Berchtesgaden, which is by car just driving down the mountain and you are in the city already, which takes you 5 to 10 minutes. And in Kempinski Hotel Das Tirol, we have the city of Kitzbühel, which is approximately 10 minutes from the hotel, and there you have everything.
And because we've seen that a lot of guests go to these properties in the summer and winters both because they want to have best of both the worlds.
Absolutely, and this makes our properties very unique because they also the nature, it changes the colors. In autumn you have everything in orange, and in winter you have everything snow covered. In summer everything is green. So even if you visit the hotel on a regular basis, you will have individual feelings because always it looks different. So it's all year round destinations, both of our properties, so you can visit either in summer or in winter.
Yeah, that's true. So talking about Berlin, now we've seen a big change where a lot of UHNIs want to go. Earlier there was a mindset that I'm not going to spend too much time in the hotel, so let me book a regular room and then go out. But now there's a big difference where they're liking experiencing good suites and presidential suites also. So tell us, what is your largest suite if a VVIP guest wants to come and stay in your property? So what are the unique features, how big is it, and how expensive? What is it going to cost me if I was to book the best suite in your property?
Of our 385 rooms and suites in total, we have 78 suites across 13 different categories, which leaves something for each taste and for everybody. And very special about our beautiful hotel is that we have 3 presidential suites that start at 185 square meters for our royal and our presidential suite. And then we have the imperial suite at 220 square meters, which is a beautiful range of suites that we have. They're all very unique and have different furnitures and styles. All suites have their own stories. I especially prefer or love the one, I think it's one of the most iconic hotel stories in the world, where we had Michael Jackson with us in 2002.
Wow.
And somehow the press got word. So there was a crowd of thousands of people on the Pariser Platz square where the Brandenburg Gate is situated on, directly in front of our hotel. And he must have thought, why not give them a show?
Wow.
So he opened the window, took his newborn baby blanket and held it out of the window for the crowd to see and cheer like the Lion King. It was in the media for months.
Wow.
So that suite in particular after that was in very high demand, which was very, very fun and good for us. The suites normally, because you know Berlin has lots of high-profile events. We have World Cups, Euros, so the rates differ a lot. Usually you could have the presidential experience starting around about 15,000 euros.
Nice.
That would be a listing.
Nice.
And you would be staying in a suite with lots of story behind it.
I can imagine. I think that's what changes, you know, because when you're staying in a presidential suite, we're actually living the story.
Yes.
And not just paying for the bed and the large room and the drawing room or the tub or whatever, you know, because it's a story that all these suites have, and the VVIPs and head of states and the presidents who've come and stayed there, and then, you know, you hear stories about from your reception or the butler or the concierge, and I think that's what makes it more special. And we see Indians are going more and more for such category suites. Because now traveling is not a luxury anymore. They want stories. They want to experience such things. So if you have any such fun stories about your properties, if you would like to tell us.
I have a very unique story for Kempinski Munich, and it's not a fun story, it's a very emotional story, because we had a guest, a regular guest meanwhile, staying with us, and she was pregnant. She was expecting the baby the next couple of weeks. But then during the night, she realized that it's almost time to deliver, and well, we just called the emergency to pick her up, but the emergency was there within 5 minutes, but it was already too late. So the baby was born in Munich, in Kempinski Munich, and well, what can you say later?
Wow.
You have been born at Kempinski Munich. It's such an iconic place, and we were very proud of this. And the baby and the mother and the family, they became regular guests at our property.
Of course, it's an emotional thing, you know, because it becomes a moment for you, wherein, you know, it's not a regular hospital or something else. It's a hotel room.
Exactly.
Wow. Now, last question: which has been the most outrageous and unreasonable request you've ever received from your guest, which is like, how is this even possible? And you were able to manage something or something close to what the guest was asking?
I mean, there are lots of requests on a regular basis, which are sometimes you think we cannot, but in the end of the day it works out. And we had, for example, a client. He wanted to have a tour with a Zeppelin. Which is kind of helicopter, and flying around Munich, and flying to our properties to Berchtesgaden and to Tirol. In the end of the day, when it was in the beginning, we were just hiring the companies, and we were looking at which companies we can use for that experience. In the end of the day, it worked, and we made it work.
So let's play a quick game of rapid fire. Super simple. So I'll start with you. So what do you prefer, solo trip or group getaway?
Both charming. Solo trip with my dog.
Solo trip.
Solo trip, wow. One detail that every luxury hotel must get it right.
An honest smile.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. You know, we always see people running at 9:45 because it's only 15 minutes when the breakfast is going to shut. And that's always my story. A hotel trend that you must say goodbye to now. It's overrated.
Diff and unpersonal service.
A dream city that you would love a Kempinski hotel at.
A lot of cities.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do a myth or a fact. Luxury hotels are only for special occasions.
Every day is special. That's a myth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. City hotels can't offer true escape.
Really good luxury hotel is an escape into the city, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heritage hotels are more about the past than the present.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. The loyalty programs don't matter in luxury segment.
Shout it out.
They matter.
Yeah, fantastic. Everybody wants a deal, you know.
Exactly.
Even most high-paying customers would want something special and extra. You know, why lose that money?
Exactly, that makes it unique and special.
Okay. Thank you so much for such lovely stories and giving us time to come here and giving us your precious time. And I know you have a hectic schedule in India, and India has become an important market for you. So, and I really wish you all the best for your trip out here in India. And we wish that many, many guests come to your property very soon.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It was such a pleasure
Thank you.
talking to you and explain a little bit further about Kempinski and our properties.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you. See
Thank
you.
you.